It is Thursday, March 5th, and we have the full Mystery Boosters foil set revealed.
Yeah, nice. Full Mystery Boosters foil
There's always so many adjectives whenever we're talking about a new Magic the Gathering set. We're going to be talking about all those foils today, and ultimately, is Mystery Booster Retail Edition worth it?
And the video starts right now. Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below.
Hello and welcome to the day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. We got some big announcement today. We finally figured out, or we're told, what the foils are going to be in the retail release of Mystery Boosters product. Jake, off the rip, excited or not excited?
Well, first off, we were absolutely wrong. We're going to talk about all of these cards now, and ultimately we're going to talk about, is Mystery Booster Retail Edition worth it? But before we need you to go down, click like, click subscribe, all that other stuff. Joel, anything to add there?
Nope, it's the best way to help us out as we continue to grow. Jake, let's jump over to this list. I'll throw it up here. And, walk us through this, man. I mean, look, we got this little graph. I'm going to put it right above your head here. Less than a quarter of these are $2 to $5. We've got roughly a quarter in the $20 to $100 range. More than half are between the $5 and $20 range. And then we got one card that is over $100. By the way, before I pass it back over to you, special thanks to Pyoger. I found this list, this tapped out, scraped list of all these cards on the MTG Finance subreddit. So special thanks to you for putting this together so that we can have the information at our fingertips.
Also, I was communicating with one of our patrons today, Nikki, who was very vigilant, got me the TCG low price of all of these cards. So I'm actually going to have some prices on these cards that are going to be different than some of these. So big shout out to Nikki. Thank you so much for your help. That is so cool that we have patrons that want to help us out and help get videos out quickly. So one thing I want to talk about is the price on all of these cards is going to drop. You have to keep in mind there are 121 foils here, and these cards are going to be opened at a much higher rate than the rest of the cards in the set, just based on numbers.
So we're looking at heavy hitters here. I'm looking at this middle row. Okay, this is just about a quarter of the cards, with 27 cards being currently between the 25, and this is TCG player average, between the $20 and $100 range. You got Amulet of Vigor is a heavy hitter. We know that
Blighted Agent.
Agent.
And also make sure to notate the ones that are commons and uncommons, because with these rares, most likely in Masters sets, you will get, if your box is really good, you may get 3 foil rares in your box, but typical boxes will get about 1 rare per box. So if most of these are rare, you're most likely going to see maybe 1 or 2 of these in your box if your box is good and if you're lucky.
Helix Pinnacle is a heavy hitter. Intruder Alarm is a heavy hitter. Karthus, Tyrant of Jund, is almost a $50 card. We've got Marrow-Gnawer. This is Marrow-Gnawer, if I can pronounce words correctly. This is one of my favorite ones. Minamo School at Water's
Edge. Amazing EDH card.
Right, it's a fantastic EDH card. It puts more into the market, so more people have this available to them, but it is still a $100 card currently. I mean, that is a very heavy hitter. Reaper King is another one like Marrow-Gnawer that's seen a lot of reprints this year, and so that's one that's price will probably go way, way down. Looking at Scourge of the Throne, this is a fantastic foil, great EDH card, $80 foil, and then Teferi's Puzzle Box, which we saw on stream as a heavy hitter. Also,
now Teferi's Puzzle Box, just so you know, the low price on this foil is around $40. Now, granted, that's going to take into account light play or maybe HP copies. A near mint one of these is going to command a lot higher price point. But while we're talking about Teferi's Puzzle Box, keep in mind that this is 8th edition. Joel actually did a little research earlier. There are no 7th edition foils. Is that correct, Joel?
That is correct. Real quick, let me jump over there. Yeah, so this is the list off of the actual Magic Wizards website, you can sort by set code here. So you see we've got some 10th edition, we've got some 5th Dawn, we've got some 8th editions here and some 9th editions, and then we're into letters. So that means that we have no 7th edition foils in this whatsoever.
That, to me, and I have to say this, is a really big missed opportunity. The 7th edition foils, like, I get it. For collectors, they're really exciting cards. These people want these cards to hold a high price point. I guess 7th edition foils are sacred. This is evidence of it, apparently. We could have had foil 7th edition birds. We could have had foil 7th edition Teferi's puzzle box. And I'll tell you now, seeing now that no 7th edition foils were included, I would say that 7th edition foils are probably going to see a little bit of a price hike. Just as cards like Teferi's Puzzle Box grow in popularity in EDH, it's also a legacy card. It's played with Narset. It locks out your opponent. This is the kind of card that I think 7th edition foil Teferi's Puzzle Box, being the OG, being that old, beautiful brown artifact card frame, that foily goodness. You get the little star going across it. It's just super sexy. That card's going to see a jump in price because of this.
Yeah, absolutely. While Jake takes a moment alone with 7th edition foil Teferi's Puzzle Box, I will say that none of this even means that this isn't the last time we're going to see mystery boosters. This seems to be a very popular thing that people have loved. People liked playing it at the GPs before it was retail. People have been tracking. I mean, a lot of people were watching the reveal today just to see what the foils were going to be and what the retail packs were going to look like. People like chaos drafts, and so I would be very shocked if they go the route of, wow, we don't really like money anymore, and so you know what, let's take mystery boosters 2 off of our future board so that we don't have to work on developing those.
Well, yeah, go up to glittering wish really quick. It's also in this same but we did see glittering. Oh, that's not the old border. Never mind. That's not.
This is from Future Side, I believe. Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, I was actually really excited to see Tarmogoyf in the old border, and I see that as a little bit of a missed opportunity as well.
Right.
However, there are a lot of really cool cards in here. My favorites are Sen Triplets and Teferi's Puzzle Box. Those are obviously the big winners. Those are heavy hitters. But with cards like Helix Pinnacle and Intruder Alarm and a multitude of other cards, there's not a lot of bad to say about this product.
$10 cards over here. I mean, Balduvian Rage is $20. There's a lot of it's very cool to me from the review standpoint. It's very cool to me that only 25 of these cards, of these foils that you can get in the set, are absolute misses. Everything else is $5 or more. And look, as I glance down this list, most of these are 5 to 10, 10 to 15 is really where that kind of falls out. Like $8 to $15 is where this first row is mostly falling out. And then you jump up to $20 or more, and some of these get into the $50, $60, $70 range. And then obviously Sen Triplets is your chase here, looking for that $174 foil Sen Triplets. So
And most likely you're going to be much more likely to see Sen Triplets than you are going to see Mana Crypt. Obviously, Mana Crypt is the chase card in the set, but it's in that bulk 1600 plus set, so it's huge. That's just, you can't really rely on getting any of those cards. However, let's talk about it now, because I know everybody wants to talk about it. Is this worth it based on what we're seeing? And for the price, yes, I really do think it is.
I would have to say that I agree with you. This is something. How much are these boxes being sold for, Jake? They're not being sold for the cost of a Master's box, right?
Well, no. Go to eBay right now, and I'll show you what you can buy them at lowest price plus shipping.
Yeah. So looking at this, these are nothing here, but honestly, we can go on, buy it right now, $98.99, and buy.
And I'm pretty sure that's Flipside Gaming, isn't it? So very reputable seller. They're selling these. They've sold 653 were viewed per day. They are selling tons of them right now.
298 so far.
Yeah, so when you think about this set compared to another mystery or another master set, let's talk about Ultimate Masters, Eternal Masters, Iconic Masters, Masters 25, all of these different sets. Like the low end for a lot of those boxes is $250, which is a lot just so much more. It's a lot more of a commitment, and your pulls become a lot more dependent on, oh man, what can I pull that's good? I would just say, based on the draft that Joel and I watched earlier today, if I were to open those 24 booster packs that group opened during the draft, I would be absolutely tickled. I would be like, oh, I got a foil puzzle box, I've got, Helix Pinnacle, I have all of these other cards, and that's not even taking into account, the non-foil cards, the Grave Titan that got opened, and all of these other amazing heavy hitters.
Yeah, it is interesting that Helix Pinnacle and that Teferi's puzzle box essentially paid for that entire 8-person pod draft,
100%, and that's without looking at any of the other cards. But now you're going to say, Jake and Joel, this can't just be all good. What am I missing here? And what you're missing is, you must keep in mind, this is going to be a very popular product. People are going to love to draft it. It's probably going to be 2 waves, because there's going to be so much demand for it. I think the boxes that are cheap are going to get soaked up, and I think people are going to realize just how good this is. It's going to get opened a lot, and a lot of these card prices are going to drop. And then, they'll rebound, and some of them will stay low just based on scarcity. But that's just something to think about. Like, a lot of these prices that you're looking at are going to drop.
You're absolutely right. I am ready for this set to drop. I think that having the boxes at the $100 price point is just a stroke of genius, because
this is going to be less than 5 a pack. This is
right, exactly. It means that the drafts are going to be affordable in your LGS. It means that more people, look at the Battle Bond product from last year. I know more people that have sealed boxes of Battle Bonds sitting at their house ready for a friendly draft or something, that that's just like a just in case thing, then would keep a modern Masters box or any kind of Masters box back just to do that with. Mystery boosters, Chaos Draft, absolutely I can see people buying boxes of these just to sit on and treat them the same way. Pull it out, hey, everybody want to come over Friday and do a Chaos Draft? Bing, bang, boom. I'll keep all the foils, and you're paying for it almost every time you open a box. I think that this set is really smart. I think that, obviously from the finance side, you always want to see way more cool stuff in here. It would have been awesome if there were fetch lands. It would have been awesome if we had gotten stuff like foil,
Thoughtseize, or Force of Will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You always want like that incredibly dense, expensive set, but honestly, this is fairly in line with how Wizards normally seeds their products, while still being on the side of, holy crap, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and we've talked about all of the collector's product. We've talked about Secret Lair. We've talked about all of the collector's editions that come out right alongside other standard sets. I think that we need to keep in mind we've been conditioned to pay a higher price, and now they're selling us boosters for like, $4 to $5 a pack that are jam-packed with really good cards, and it's like, oh my gosh, I kind of like want to race out and get a couple boxes based on this information, even though I was wrong about my predictions. I think that's going to be stuff that's going to be in the future. People are gonna go, oh god, they put Tarmogoyf in, they put Thoughtseize in, and that's going to push future sets. And I do agree with you, Joel. I don't think this is going to be the last time that we're going to see mystery boosters. I would be very surprised if they stepped away from this.
I think it will be a while. I think that they saw with the Masters products that releasing one a year and it becoming something that people knew was going to happen or expected, you start to get a little fatigue on it. And so I think that if they continue this trend of like mixing it up, Conspiracy once every 3 or 4 years, mystery boosters once every 3 to 6 years, that kind of rotation of these things keeps it fresh and people are excited about it.
Yeah, and I do hope that they keep it on a good schedule, because we don't want to see people get fatigued from a product like this, something that is actually good, in my opinion. A lot of these cards are going to drop in price. A lot of these cards are just scarce. They just needed reprints.
I know that...
Don't run out and buy the Imperial Recruiters at a premium, because you know that it's going to go down. Imperial Recruiter was printed in Masters 25, and it just absolutely plummeted in price. Everybody was like, no, but it was a $200 card. How does this happen? Well, it's because it was scarce. It's when you put a lot of product into circulation for cards that, people don't really need. Not a lot of people played Imperial Recruiter, so it dropped from $200 to $35, and everybody was like, I just don't understand, and that's just how it works. It's supply and demand.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what they're seeing is that they want people to have the cards. I think that from the mothership of Hasbro side of thinking, they have shown that it needs to retain a certain amount of collectability to make it the game that it is and has been forever. However,
that's why Reserve List exists.
Exactly.
So.
However, if you can get the cards into people's hands, at the end of the day, you just want people playing, and that will make you money.
100%, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. Bottom line, is it worth it? In my opinion, and I would be absolutely critical, yes, it is. I think that this product is worth it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be one of those products that we look back on years to come and we go, that was a big step in the right direction. Joel, what do you think?
Let us know which foil you are super excited is getting a reprint. I know that as I'm looking through this list, honestly, this is a set that I want to go out and draft. This is something I'm really looking forward to. One of my favorite GP memories is of a Chaos draft that we did there at, actually it wasn't a GP, it was at Comic-Con in San Diego. We did a Chaos draft, and it was one of the most fun times that I've ever had drafting. Almost took down the whole thing and won a foil sheet. But I'm excited about this set, and like you said, step in the right direction. It's a-okay with me. We appreciate everybody watching. Like we said, if you wouldn't mind hitting like, hitting subscribe, it really helps us out. If you want to join us over at Patreon, again, thanks to Nikki from our Patreon for kind of working with us to develop this video over the past hour or two. If you want to join us, the link is down in the description below. Go over there and check it out and see if it's a good fit for you. If you want to hang out with us, we're streaming most Tuesday and Thursday evenings, unless a video gets in the way, because news happens on a crazy schedule with Wizards of the Coast. We're streaming most Tuesday and Thursday evenings over on Twitch. Jake, I'm tapped out.
See you later, Warehouse.